There we go. And we are live. Hello, everyone. So, Too Crazy was going to join, but unfortunately, their internet crashed. Or they're having technical difficulties. But yeah, I hope you've been all doing well. Well, one of the other people joined. We got Nars here today. Yeah. Hey, bud.
Hello.
Hey.
I was just chatting with someone from Australia who's just joined vrchat.
Oh, congrats. Yeah.
Or just come back to vrchat, I should say. So,
oh yeah. Yeah.
but has spent very little time in vrchat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Too Crazy's Wi-Fi went out for some reason. Their internet provider should probably get a good throttling. Yeah. But other than that, I've mainly just been cruising and enjoying some stuff. I've got some plans to do things in the next few days. Yeah. I've been 3D modeling something. I've been doing a couple test prints of it at the moment. Kind of like a collar of sorts. I'll post the pictures online probably sometime after the stream, but I've got this collar that you can put on. It needs a bit more work to it. Magnets, different materials and all that, etc. But it's working. Yeah. Made a Freddy Krueger doll with a voice box, used my voice to sound like him. Oh, cool, John. That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's good to see everyone, by the way. Yeah. This is just a random world that I favorited a while ago. It's just a giant wheat field with those giant wind turbines in it. I kind of like it because it's nice and peaceful area to cruise around. It's got a large skybox, so you can now use flying avatars and all that. Yeah. Oh, cool. I might end up working on getting a few videos out soon. It's just been not only time, but also my finding the right mental faculties to get everything ready, get everything going. But I am working on a couple things. I ordered something in the mail not too long ago, and they're shipping it out today. So that'll take at least a week or so to arrive. I'm going to be doing like a large review on a bunch of things. Hoping to try and do them in one big go, in one cluster, but I might break it up into two clusters of videos so that it's a little bit more manageable, but also gives you something to look at and what I do and all that. Yeah. Yeah, happy early birthday. Yeah, you have a good time, John, when you do have your birthday. Yeah. I might end up making some stuff that you can 3D print. I'll be putting, because I put most of the stuff I've designed by myself up onto printables for anyone to 3D print. And yeah, I've got design, but I've still got a lot of work to do on it. It's still in the middle of development, is the best way to put it. I've got the prototypes. I'm working on the prototypes at the moment. Going to get some more 3D printing filament. And then I'm going to also do a couple tests here and there. I've got an idea on how to fix a problem that it does have. And that shouldn't be too hard. And I've even got ideas flowing into my head right now on how to do those ideas. It's kind of it kind of like it kind of cascades is the best way to describe it. Once I figure out a solution to a problem, and that solution also has a problem, I then figure out the solution for that problem. It's kind of a bit of tomfoolery, but it does have its advantages. When I get something done right, I normally try to get it done really right so it works properly. And in those cases, some of those things actually look really good when they do work right. Yeah. I might end up making a couple cool little bits and pieces soon though, but it'll be depending on what goes on. I've been taking it nice and easy and relaxing and just having fun in general. For anyone wondering, I am going to be going to a FurCon later on this year. I just need to get myself a ticket to and from the con for the airplane travel. I'm going to be getting that next month, since it'll be October and then it'll be November, which the con happens in November, so I'm going to get it a month early so that I've got time to just get everything paid for. So it gives me plenty of time to kind of screw around, do other things, and it also gives me plenty of time to save up a good chunk of cash so that I can afford to buy stuff when I'm at the con, but also if I need anything while I'm up there, I can also, buy stuff, whether it just be as simple as mobile data or food. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you've all been doing well and all that. I'm still one of those people who's adamantly against AI to the point where if someone's using it for their, any of their artwork, it's just a no for me. This is something I think is a good example about me when it comes to my tolerance around it. For instance, I cannot stand it being like someone trying to use it to say, oh, I've made this interesting image. You didn't make it. It's like the equivalent of searching for an image and copying and pasting it. That's the best I can describe it. To the point where I just don't want to be involved with anyone that uses it. It's just like any of those image generation software. It's just that. All it's doing is just looking for an image, copying and pasting it in, and slightly altering it. That's all they do. But yeah. Anyone else joining you? I don't know. One of my other friends was on, but they got off. Too Crazy was gonna be here, but their internet went out. So, they're only on mobile data at the moment. That's how they're able to join the chat. So sadly, it's a bit of one of those cases of internet crapped out, someone else gonna be here, can't. It sucks. But yeah, one of the other New Zealand furs is here. They're just chilling. They're just doing their own thing. But yeah. Hello, Nigel Ray? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Oh, Niles, that's you. Duck. Classic. I'm honestly been cruising around with all these people and all that, but yeah, at least today I feel at least a little bit more productive. Other than the collar that I've been working on, I'm gonna end up I also worked a bit on my garden, and that has been doing really well. I should do another short on that because a lot of people seem to enjoy that. There is a lot that that's changed up there. I've got everything from carrots to lettuces to peas growing at an impressively exponential rate of growth. The weather just hasn't been that good lately. it'd be like I get like a couple really sunny days, and everything would just be like taking off and growing, and then it's just like 2 or 3 really cloudy days. I'm just like, come on. Can I have a break from that? So I can actually get a garden that's actually growing at a consistent rate. Oh, well. I find there's a lot of interesting... there's been a lot of interesting things I'll work on, though. I'll be ordering some parts for my e-bike soon enough. Essentially what I'm doing is just buying all the parts of the electronics, and then I'm going to do a video on assembly of a e-bike, or e-trike, sorry, with a solar panel on it, so that it can actually charge itself. So you don't have to go to a wall socket to charge this thing. It just, wherever it's sitting, it will just charge up the battery whenever it's doing its thing. A good friend of mine by the name Web Surfer has been quite a helpful person with finding the parts. They're also another vrchat friend of mine. They're on at the moment, but they're in a group at the moment. But I don't feel like bothering them while they're in that group. I was talking to them earlier, and they're having quite a good time, so they're doing a lot better than they were, and they're a really nice friend. Yeah. I honestly have been enjoying going to quite a few interesting little places. I've been looking around to find some interesting new worlds. Occasionally I find a few. Some are, they're not bad, but they're kind of just, they run not that well. I do keep my eyes out for, I'm going to say, interesting worlds for vrchat. I think, though, what I'm going to do, because one of them I still have my favourites is not bugging out and was running okay when I went there last. I'll put up a Friends Plus instance and drop down a portal and we can both go there. There we go. It's a fishing world. It's a lot more simpler than some of the other ones, but it's also, it runs alright and also looks good. Yeah. Quack, quack. There we go. Oh, it's not running as well as I thought it was when I last joined this world. It's only running at 20. Let me see what I can do on my end on Steam VR. Hey, Steam VR, can you allow me to drop the resolution on my headset to maximum low? Oh, that didn't do anything. I dropped the headset's resolution down stupid low so that I could be able to try and get it to run a little bit more, a little bit more smoothly, but that didn't do anything. Like, okay, that's kind of silly. You'd think, you know, lowering the resolution on your headset would improve performance in terms of frame rate, but no, it doesn't. I don't know why that is, but go figures. Come here, you. You got a fish. It's a ruby trout. It looks more to me like a salmon. Off you go. Swim on back. Yeah. Volk, do you know Jennifer Telly? No. She played in oh yeah, I haven't watched that. I don't really watch that many horror movies. That's not really my kind of hobby or interest. That's a massive perch apparently. This is. It's a big fish. Off you go, swim back home. Wow. Yeah. One of those sorts of shows I occasionally do watch is things like, I do watch some of what Vimsy Pop makes and a few other creators on YouTube. I'm not much of a TV person. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV shows or movies often. It's a little wee fog snapper. Yeah. Oops, I cast that wrong direction. Let me try that again. There we go. Yeah. Come here, you little rascal. It's a cherry snapper. But yeah, there are a couple things I occasionally watch, but it's mainly stuff like it's some series, but it's very hit or miss when I do watch them. Yeah, I might get myself a couple games to play on stream at some point, but it depends on what they are. I've seen people playing Peak that kind of piqued my interest. Oh gosh, there goes my brain thinking silly thoughts that I come up with. Well, at least I made Too Crazy laugh on that one. Oh, I love my goofy boyfriend. It's a red line trout or a rainbow trout. I don't know why they have them all weirdly named like that. Yeah. There is a high possibility. I don't know much about it, but I have been keeping my eyes somewhat on it. That what was it? That Steam might be releasing a new VR headset within the next within this year or next. It is looking kind of interesting from all the rumors, but they are rumors nonetheless. So I kind of have to take them with a bit of a grain of salt. It's a sunny perch. I guess it's a sunny side up for him. Off you go. What was it? Yeah, there's a possibility they might be releasing a new standalone VR headset. Kind of like the Quest, but not Facebook owned, which is kind of what I'm after on the market. Yeah. And
are they looking at having pancake lenses?
I don't know much about the lenses. I did hear a rumor on here a while ago, someone claiming that was working with the development kit, claimed they were smaller than the Quest 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Claimed it was smaller than the Quest 3. It was just a black VR headset with inside-out tracking, eye tracking somehow, even though you couldn't see the sensors, so it's probably using some very modern technology that's like very slim and very hard to detect or see or whatever. So it's a lot more lightweight, maybe more power efficient, and doesn't drain the battery as fast. Yeah. It could even be behind the lenses themselves, even too, somehow. Which is, I wouldn't put that out of question for someone like Steam to produce some new kind of way of doing stuff. They seem to be like, they take forever to develop something, but when they do, they develop things like the Steam Deck, which that started a huge revolution in handheld gaming units that can be somewhat effective but also lightweight. Some of the systems they've developed are pretty impressive. It will be interesting to see if they take that handheld approach and make a lightweight, Ashland's roach. That's an interesting fish. But yeah. Oh man, I got a little too crazy in it. A little too crazy. I like that one. But yeah, there might be a possibility that they could be releasing a headset, not right away, but soon. It's been in development for a few years now, so Steam's very, I'm going to say, tight-lipped about when they're making stuff. Other companies are a little bit more open, but I think the reason why they're a little bit more tight-lipped is they don't want to get too much expectations, but also it keeps their competitors second guessing. There have been people though doing what's called data mining, which the bestest way to describe data mining to someone who might not be technologically inclined is it's like the equivalent of digging into the folders of your computer and finding things that you thought you didn't have. So you have a whole bunch of files in the Steam software, and people can go through the software on that when it updates, and people found a whole bunch of interesting things that were in there when they updated it. One of those things was a set of VR controllers called the Roy controllers. Best way to describe them is they look like Quest 3 controllers, but are different in certain aspects. And because when you have a Steam VR headset hooked up, or any headset that hooks up to VR in Steam, you have 3D models of your controllers. So for me right now, I have my PS VR controllers hooked up, and I can see a 3D model of them whenever I have Steam VR's menu open. Sorry for my babbling. Hello, angry hellfish. And essentially, they just show up as a 3D model of my controllers, an exact replica of them, essentially. So someone found those 3D model files inside of Steam VR and downloaded or imported them into Blender so they could have a look at them. And they looked almost like a Quest controller, but they were named different. Obviously, the Quest controllers would be just like Quest 3, 2, and 1 or something like that, depending on the model. But yeah, they're a different controller. So Steam is doing something. Yeah. I remember that fish from the last week. Yeah. Yeah, this is a different world. There's a few different worlds that have fishing mechanics. I know of 3 of them now. This one of the more popular ones, which, it's alright, but I like this one a little more because it's not as complicated, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to, I don't know, try and get you in there every day or some nonsense with like some silly reward system, which I've always found to be just a little bit meh. Like, I never really take them that seriously. Too crazy, ain't you his boyfriend? Yes, he is. Volk, do you have a Halloween in New Zealand? Just wondering. New Zealand is a bit of an odd one. Occasionally we do have Halloween, but it's very hit or miss where it happens. Sometimes there's like arranged like school meetups at for Halloween. Sometimes it's a certain neighborhoods do it. Sometimes, yeah. Where we are at, it's a little bit more remote, so it's not as common to see kids going door to door getting candy. Yeah. If we're in a bit more of a in the middle of town, I would probably put a bowl of candy out just for the sake of it, and maybe a couple small decorations just for the sake of the celebrations. But yeah, I got a new boyfriend. Broke up with me after I got who I love. Okay. Oh, yeah, I like checking out events. That's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed I enjoy occasionally just going around on that. But yeah, Halloween's not really as common over here in New Zealand as it is in the US and maybe UK. Um, Christmas, New Year's, and Easter are more common over here. Big catfish. Look at those big whiskery face looking at you. And off you go, big fella. Yeah.
You, we have Halloween in my community, and I generally just pull the curtains and turn the lights off. Pretend I'm not home.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
That kind of stress.
Yeah, it's one of those sorts of days. I know it's like that for some people with Christmas, because it's just such a stressful holiday when it comes to everyone wanting to go into the stores, grab whatever crud they can find for Christmas presents, and then just, yeah. For me, all I expect for Christmas is a nice dinner, get together with family and friends, and just have a good time. I urge people, don't bother with gift cards. Just get cash. It's more simpler and easier to deal with. Gift cards are a pain in the butt, and they're more just... honestly, gift cards are just a horrible thing outside of a few niche uses. One of the best niche uses for them is, say you have a friend that's like over in the US, and you want to send them money, but you don't have any... They don't have any PayPal, or internet banking is a pain in the butt to do, because it is a pain in the butt to do. And you could technically pay them with like various gift cards if you want to. I know scammers do it, so be wary of that. It's an iron kipper. More or less, it's just an upside down catfish. Off you go, upside down catfish. But yeah. Yeah, yeah. Here's hoping Angry Fish, your boyfriend, is better. Yeah, definitely. I hope you have a better time with your new boyfriend. It's one of those sorts of things in life. When it comes to finding someone to be with, it's just... You just got to take your time and have fun, but at the same time, it's kind of a case of just being open, and them being open as well. It can be a little hard to open up to someone, and then you gotta, know, is this person, being who they are? Like, are they who they say they are? I got 2 fish on my line somehow. I got a steel trout, you can go back, and some fern shockeye, some kind of salmon. Yeah. Yeah, exactly what Dragoon says. Yeah. It's kind of one of those sorts of things where you can take what you learn from your first relationship and use that to better yourself and the way that things are done. I've gone through a lot of friends in terms of like not like more intimate relation, more like social relations is the best way I can say. So like I've been around a lot of friends. And I didn't start dating anyone until more or less until I met Too Crazy. So it was kind of a case of me dating someone after being around a lot of social experience. It's not going to be it's not always going to be a guarantee kind of thing, but it is going to help, I guess, to a certain degree for some people who might want to learn. But yeah. Yeah, and Too Crazy is just being adorable. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We might go to a different world now, because my GPU is probably getting maxed out. I actually have been planning on buying a new one, probably an AMD of some kind. Steam is saying, hey, your GPU is cooking over here. On the stats, it's just like, brrr.
I wonder if that's why they called it steam, because if you put any water on it, it'll go psh.
Honestly, the amount of GPUs that I've seen people somehow cook because they're just not got decent coolers on them, I wouldn't be surprised. I have yet to see someone get their water cooler to the point where it actually, like, makes steam come shooting out of it when they open it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone does that. Kind of like the equivalent of when you have an engine overheating and you open the radiator cap and it becomes a goddamn hot boiling water geyser out of that damn thing. I'm just like, how the hell did you do that to your engine? You either, one, neglected at something, like the oil, or two, something is rubbing and making expensive noises that shouldn't be doing that. Okay, let's find a world that I know it's going to be a little bit more easier on my GPU. Okay, that world's nice, and it's also a lot more easier to run. So we'll go here next because it's a little bit more easier on the GPU. But yeah, I honestly have fun with who you try to be with, and just try and, communicate your feelings about things that you feel strongly about. Yeah, if something feels upsetting, try and, explain, hey, this thing is making me feel a bit upset. And try and find a way to either deal with it, find a compromise, or try and find a way to get through it. It's not always an easy one, but yeah. Oh well. Oh, what else is there? But yeah. Yeah. Expensive noises. Yeah. Those are things that no one likes to deal with. Lizard. That's a cool picture. Is that a blue-mouthed skink? Or something they call those?
Yeah, it's a blue-tongue lizard.
Yeah.
Skink.
Those are cool. Yeah. Is that your pet? Or is it someone else's?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's mine.
I know those things love mealworms. Last I saw someone feeding one, they had a whole bunch of live mealworms they were giving it. I always find it funny. Someone has like one of those like hard floors, like a vinyl floor, and you just see these poor little lizards just going on the floor. I'm just like, that poor little fella can't get a grip on the floor. Oh, that's adorable. Just relaxing in his little nest. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. There's a couple people who have some unique pets over here I've seen. I know quite a few people over here have more like farm inclined animals, like for instance sheep, goats, pigs, etc. On their property. My father has a whole bunch of sheep and chickens. He does have a couple dogs, which, dogs are just a common sight around here. It's always interesting watching the chickens, because they've learned to come to us when we call them. And there's just this little mob of just these little red chickens, just little classic red shavers or something they call them. Yeah. Ever heard of the... I can't even pronounce that word.
Oh, that's poltergeist.
Oh!
Decided to give it a miss.
Oh, no thank you. I know what poltergeists are. I may have experienced one once. Long story short, we used to live in this old house. Bloody old place, Art Deco area. So it was pretty old. I lived off in this little like shack to the side of the house, and what this what happened was I had a whole bunch of like these little like the little like 12-gram CO2 cylinders used like BB guns and stuff, and I had them sitting on a cloth rag so that they would all be nice and all nice and lined up, all kind of clean and all that, and so they wouldn't roll anywhere. They were sitting on top of the cloth, and like that's why I put them there. It was like they're all on that cloth, so I would then go off to do some stuff, you know, whatever it was. I think it was like shoveling up some stuff. I came back and they were all on the ground. The cloth was perfectly still sitting there, so I'm thinking it couldn't have been a cat because the cat couldn't get in there. The door was shut. No one else had been in there. Like I said, oh, did anyone go into my room? Some of my CO2 cylinders got knocked off the bench. And no, I'm just sitting there going, oh, that's odd. Over the next few days, though, some other things happened. My father saw a little wee girl outside the window. He went outside to go have a look, but there was no one there. I was out one night, looking at the moon, enjoying the night. I turned around thinking someone was watching me, and I just see this white apparition of a little girl wandering along the concrete footpath. Yeah. I'm not making that up. That was just what I saw and experienced at that one place. That was a good case of a haunting. Whatever that was. I'm just saying, like, okay, I experienced that. And, yeah, ever since then was kind of known that this place may be haunted. So, yeah, there you go. Rasputin. Isn't that like the name of like a well-known Russian who...
Yep.
Yeah, they... like... Yeah, the whole story about that's messed up. But, yeah.
Very.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. But yeah, that's a thing I experienced a few years ago.
Some of us have enough trouble in real life without having to deal with adding horror movies or horror games.
Yes. I have dealt with enough of that to know that. This world has enough horror as it is. Yeah. Cute Drake. Aw, thanks. Nee. I might get a bit into doing some cool avatars though soon. I've got an idea for an avatar that will be interesting. It involves using my main avatar here, but I'm going to change it around in some pretty, I'm going to say, odd but spectacular ways. They require a bit of tomfoolery with the Unity program and a whole lot of changes with the shaders and textures on certain things. But if done right, it will look cool. And some of you might think it was quite an interesting and unique idea, but I won't let off until we've got it more closer to it. Me and Too Crazy are going to be working on something pretty cool. But yeah, I might end up building building something. It'll just be a matter of getting Unity to and vrchat to go, oh, this is what this is supposed to do, and not supposed to flip it upside down or completely make it spin out of control or something silly. Trust me, the amount of times I've seen just the weirdest stuff people have done on accident with vrchat, like accidentally creating a crasher that causes everyone in that particular instance to have their client crash on them by accident. Somehow vrchat their SDK didn't go, oh hey, that's not got the right settings to that and could cause a crash. Somehow it got past that without them trying to, mess with it. But that happens from time to time. So yeah, if you are in vrchat and someone's testing a new avatar, I'm always like sitting there going, I wonder if it's going to crash. It's going to cause everyone to crash. And it actually happened once. One of the avatars my friend was trying in one of those like avatar search worlds caused his one to crash and me to black out. I was like, what just happened? I contacted them and go, say, what happened? He said, oh, I crashed. Did you? Yep. It's like, oh, that avatar I was using caused me to crash. Apparently there's kids that get soft locked out of their VRchat, out of their headsets from playing on a quest because they added a crashing avatar to their they used it, and so that avatar is the one they load into whenever they turn on VRchat. So the second they boot up into their home, they crash. They get soft locked.
Yeah.
You can, if you log into your VRchat website account, you can remove it. So if anyone gets soft locked when they're using their headset and they don't have their PC to connect up, that's how. You'll have to go on and log in through the website on your phone or a similar other device. Then remove that one from your account. If you know who made it, then you might want to let them know, hey, that avatar you made causes people to crash whenever they load into it. Yeah. But that was one that I have seen happen. It's not a common one, but it does occasionally happen. It usually happens with older avatars. Hey, Volt, where does an undead bear get its honey? From zombies. Oh my gosh. Here's a funny thing, and this is kind of messed up. There's actually a type of bee or wasp that produces red honey from, you guessed it, blood. Yes. There's your weird thing of the year for you to know. But yeah, I find it interesting. You love it when your birthday is around Halloween. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is. My birthday's around Easter, so extra chocolate for my birthday. I try not to eat too much chocolate. I only have every so often a bar or so, but it's very spread out and sporadic. I try to not eat too much sugar. Yeah. I substitute that with either really tasty fruit and vegetables or just really good cooking. Like curries that are slow cooked over a slow cooker from fresh goat and all that. I had this really good curry that I had goat. My dad had gone out, hunted a whole bunch of goats. He gave me a nice little wee one that he had chopped down the middle in half. Won't go into too much of the detail, but I had to sit there, chopping it up with a cleaver. And I get these nice little chunks, chops them into the slow cooker, and we slow cook them all day with onions and vegetables. And a really good curry sauce. It was damn good. I finished off the last of the leftovers for it today, and oh my gosh. Also, they're almost done working on my neighbour's apartment. Tomorrow they'll be done. Oh, that's good to hear. Blood honey must be sweet. I'd say it tastes really bad. You were saying something?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch the stuff. So the builders in the neighbour's apartment making quite a bit of noise.
I'm guessing so. That's what John's saying they're having issues with, I'm guessing.
Neighbours renovating their house for, I don't know, maybe a year?
What?
I think they finally finished.
Oh.
Across the road, but still.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. one of our neighbours refuses to seem to stop cutting metal and stuff every single week. Like, I can hear them banging at metal, cutting metal off grinders, banging some more stuff in. I'm just like, what the hell are they doing up there? Like, our house is on one of those, like, hills, terraces. So it's like, sits on a terrace, and then there's like another one just above us. And then those ones up there are always the noisy ones. The ones below us, they're quiet. They're actually out of town. They're actually not around right now. But yeah, those ones always banging and clanging or something weird. I don't know. At least it isn't like a party that's going until like 12 at night. It's just like every day.
Done that. That's so annoying.
Yeah, you see like dubba 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 fucking at like 12 at night. You just see like, what the hell, man? Come on, do I have to call the cops and file a noise complaint?
I've had noise control on speed dial in some of the places I've lived in.
Oh gosh, yeah. People are trying to sleep. Tomorrow we'll be done and get this. We are down to 6 days until summer ends. It's almost like spring is about to end and summer's about to begin over here now. We've had quite a few very hot days lately. It's been quite a scorcher.
We've been fairly cool up here. We've had the odd warm day, but hasn't been too bad, thankfully. I don't like summer.
Yeah, same. It just gets just... Oh! But if I can get my garden... If I can get my garden going as well as I can, that I expect it to, I should be able to grow a variety of food that would normally be very expensive, like tomatoes, carrots, lettuce. Those are some of the more expensive vegetables, at least. If I can grow those, I think we'll cut down on the cost of our household's issues. I remember the stories of people during World War One and Two having what they called home front or combat gardens. And essentially the idea was every single square inch of ground that was in a town was converted into a garden. So everyone was producing food to not only keep themselves fed, but also extra food was like chivied around to other people and also for the military itself. A lot of the meats and all that were obviously sent off to canneries to the soldiers. But yeah, I remember hearing about that one. A lot of places that were like, I think it was the UK, they had massive underground areas that were growing mushrooms. Like they had tunnels just for growing mushrooms. Which honestly makes a lot of sense. It's an easy way to grow somewhere where nothing else is going to grow. It's easy to keep.
And I like mushrooms. Oops, sorry.
I love a good crop of mushrooms, and occasionally I do grow them. And I grew one of these, like you can just buy these little blocks, so just a block of mycelium for various types, but the one I got was oyster mushrooms, which are really nice. You just get this block of mycelium, you get a nice little water sprayer that you can spray the plants with water, just water, and as they sprout their mushrooms out, you give them a nice little spray of water, keep them moist, and once they are to a certain size, you then chop them off. The mycelium block can produce sometimes about 2 to 3 crops if you're lucky. It depends on the size of that block and how many fruiting bodies are produced at one given time. The only downside of these particular mushrooms, they are quick to spoil. So they only will last maybe, I'm going to say probably only about a few days before they're not any good.
But the oyster ones?
Yeah, the oyster mushrooms. They're like a grey or pink colour.
Right.
Yeah. I just grew them on my windowsill in my room.
Ah, so they don't mind being in the light.
They don't mind being they don't mind being in indirect sunlight. So like if you've got like a window that's not facing the sun, where there is a bit of light coming in, it's not going to bother them. They don't mind it.
How do they cope in heat?
They might not like heat. They might dry out too quickly. So if you've got an area that's like, say, it's a bit more more warmer, try putting them somewhere down low where it's cooler, and have them in like a large plastic bin or something to keep the moisture in, so that they have plenty of so they stay nice and damp and moist, because that's what mushrooms love. They like a bit of moisture and humidity. Yeah. No, that's just where I just had it just somewhere out of direct sunlight, and they seem to enjoy it. Yeah. So you can grow those inside. You can buy the kits online. I got mine on Trade Me, but you can always look elsewhere depending on where you are in the world. There's probably a few decent sellers that sell them for a few bucks. It wasn't exactly cheap, but to do it is quite fun and quite economical if you're just like doing a large amount of them. Because if you do it just right, you can grow them. So like one of them's like starting to grow, and then the others above it kind of like stepped off. So it's like always one of them's just about ready to produce a good crop of them.
Just a random thought.
Hmm.
Do you freeze mushrooms, or do they spoil if you freeze them?
I think you can freeze them if you do it right. I think you gotta like free flow them or something when you freeze them. But yeah, you can just probably freeze them. Like I know people freeze dry mushrooms out into like, you know, little bits and pieces for their soups and stews and all that. And they
shiitake and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. It's the dragon. Wow. I honestly will enjoy trying to get myself a dryer for drying out food, because that will be useful for storing tomatoes and other things. Jarring and pickling takes a bit of practice, but it does give you a lot of leeway in terms of what you can, you know, preserve. Drying them.
Apparently you can get botulism
if you don't do it right.
Or pickling.
Yeah, if you don't get it right, it will have issues. That's why drying is a little bit more easier, because you're drying and desiccating it. There's less bacteria can cling to that if you store it in a vacuum sealed bag or a dry jar or something like that. I could probably buy a vacuum sealer, and that'll keep them nice and fresh and keep the moisture off of them. And you can get some vacuum sealers quite cheap these days with resealable bags too, and they're fairly okay in my opinion. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing an entire whole lot of tomatoes, just drying them out. And what I could also do is jar them in oil. You know, you get like sun-dried tomatoes, and they come in those like little jars of like olive oil. Sometimes they have like some other herbs and other stuff, and they're like, one of my favourites is feta cheese with sun-dried tomato, and they're like all in one like little jar, sometimes with olives, like pitted olives and all that. Yeah, they're quite good. Chocolate fudge brownie ice cream. Oh my gosh. Oh, you got some chocolate fudge ice cream. That sounds damn good. Oh boy. I occasionally have a bit of ice cream every so often. And yeah, those sound like good flavours. Yeah, some of the ones over here.
Oh. Illinois describes the flavours that he's got access to, and I'm thinking, oh, I'd love some of that stuff.
Like pistachio, pecan.
Oh, no thanks. I'm nuts enough already, but some of the chocolate fudge and some of those other. We've got some of that maybe here, but yeah. Cookie dough and what was the other? Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream's a good one. It's just basically vanilla ice cream with Oreo chunks in it. Is the best way I can describe it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
Cookies and cream. That's basically what cookies and cream is.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's just Oreo chunks. You take vanilla ice cream and you just smash up a whole bunch of Oreos into it and mix it through. That's basically the best way of describing cookies and cream. So if you don't have it, you could always just, make it. Oreo ice cream sandwiches is very good. Oh, I bet it is. What was the one thing that I found recently? Have you ever heard of cookie peanut butter? Or cookie butter? If you haven't...
In the last couple of days, something...
So over here, one of the sellers, I'm not sponsored by, the warehouse, they sell something called cookie butter. It's basically how they make the stuff, and I looked it up. They use a type of cookie fragments, like some company or factory produces cookies, and the ones that get all broken up when they're making them, they take that byproduct and they crush it up into a fine powder and emulsify it with something to make it like peanut butter in consistency. And it is really, really sweet. They've probably got a lot of sugar in this, so it's definitely a couple spoonfuls of this is definitely a daily intake of sugar. But oh my gosh, is it good. Like, if you wanted to make like a really tasty thing, you could like take two cookies that you like and spread it between the two, and you can make like your own Oreos. That's the best way I could describe it. It's almost like the cream and Oreos, but more cookie flavored. It looked just like peanut butter. Like if you held up like two spoons, one with the cookie dough, this cookie stuff, and the other with the peanut butter, they look almost identical. Like, I'm just sitting there like looking at ones like which one's which kind of moment until you smell one of them, then you'll know. Yeah. But yeah, it is interesting though. I've enjoyed some of the different brands of different manufacturers of ice creams and stuff, but I don't eat it often. I eat it enough that I've like good memory of the flavors. A common one over here is boysenberry, and the other one was like, salted caramel. That was one that I've had. That one, oh my gosh, that's nice. That's a good one that you can just eat on its own kind of ice cream. Like, vanilla is something that you have with something. Like, say you got a pie. That's one of the ice creams that you have with something. If it's not got a lot of flavor, it's there to be like, you got this nice hot and cold kind of consistency. Like, you got this hot apple pie. You can have it with the cold ice cream and it cools it down while still being nice and tasty. That's one of the things I always remembered using vanilla ice cream for. But to me, vanilla ice cream doesn't have a flavor. It's usually just like, it's just good for adding something to. Like, vanilla ice cream with chocolate and all that from one of the ice cream vans. The old ice cream trucks. I remembered hearing those things going down some of the streets, and I'd go out there with like a $10 note and buy a freaking ice cream cone or two when they're available. It was like nearly every second week one of these vans would drive by one of the places we used to live. So you'd hear it coming going down the road, kind of sound as it's going along. But yeah. And that ice cream from that truck was always quite nice. It was very smooth but very good. And on a hot day, it was like, oh, ice cream! Oh, I loved that. It was always good. Yeah. When it comes to ice cream trucks, I always got snow cones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are always nice. Occasionally I make slushies and snow cones myself. More slushies than anything. I would buy some fruit juice, and I would just get one of those, like, they call them a NutriBullet thing. Essentially, it's just like a small blender. Is the best way I describe those machines. They're just an over-exaggerated blender that's been sized down. I found that the cup of those was just the right size to smash up ice, and just enough ice if you mixed in a juice with it, that it would make a perfect slushy for a for a hot day. Like, really cold drink. And you just had a nice big straw, and you could just sit back and relax drinking that on a hot day. Oh, that was good. You'd sometimes get a brain freeze from drinking it too much. Oh. The music played Small World this year. Usually it was more of a light sounding tune. Oh yeah, Small World. That's one of the ones that's classic I hear sometimes. Here's the weirdest place I've heard that song play. A Chinese steel factory was playing Small World over a piezo buzzer.
Oh.
It sounds so Orwellian when you think about it, and I'll have to find the clip and send it to you. Essentially, it's exactly what you would think it would sound like. It's like something from Half-Life. Is the best way I can describe it. Yeah. Back when the Three Stooges, it was Pop Goes the Weasel. Oh gosh. Classic. How far are you in your e-bike build? I've only got the battery at the moment, but I do have some of the other electronic components lined up to purchase. I may be purchasing an important part for the solar power regulator. Essentially, think of it kind of like a transformer that steps up the voltage and current from the solar panel, so that the battery can get charged properly from it. And I'll also order a couple other small things probably at the same time, as I don't have much plans on buying much else this week. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm going to be doing this week, is buying a whole bunch of electronic components for the bike. But I mean, mainly just small things other than the charge controller, which it's about $100 and something, but it's a really beefy one. It can able to do a very powerful amount of current draw, and I'm going to use that for charging my e-bike's battery. And I might buy more of them in the future and build portable power supplies for probably for making computers and all that run remotely, as well as massive power loads of things. I might even have a go at making something just ridiculously powerful, with the equivalent of 2 e-bike batteries on a backpack-like device and a series of massive supercapacitors. Imagine the equivalent of something that looks a bit like a harpoon gun that fires a copper wire out that hits something, and then you can energize that copper wire to the point that it vaporizes within a flash of a second. creating something that looks like a thunderbolt hitting something. That sounds like some kind of energy weapon from Mad Max kind of levels of insane engineering. I've seen someone do something like this, but it was much bigger. To put it simply, it destroyed anything it hit. If I can miniaturize that down a bit to a more reasonable amount of capacitors that are more easier to find, then maybe that might be something crazy to build. The only danger is I need to properly earth everything, which means I might do something simple, which is wearing a crud load of chainmail to create a earthing connection.
Yeah.
Which sounds counterintuitive, but when you think about it logically, electricity wants to take the path of least resistance to the ground. And if you're wearing a full suit of metal, it will want to go through the metal instead of you.
Yep.
That's why I found it funny. Some dude who was wearing chainmail under his shirt, someone tried to taser him and it didn't work. It's just like this person has been granted immunity to frickin' tasers. Yeah, chainmail. How about that? It's used. It's still a commonly manufactured material because it has some very useful things. One, it's incredibly cut-proof. They use it to make gloves for butchers, so that they don't get cut when they're using their knives. And I've seen some butcher's knives that are like, you can shave with them sharp. Like, they're sitting there like going, gently shaving their face to test how sharp their blade is before going out and slicing doing an entire chop up on something. And it's just like, they're just like, done. And I'm just like, holy moly. I thought my ones were sharp. Whoo! Hello, Wolf Dog. How you doing? It's good to see you, bud. Yeah, Volk, you said you're going to a con in November. You excited for it? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. I'm going to be doing doing some stuff there. I occasionally do dance my fursuit. Sometimes when I'm at furcons, I do. But yeah, I think there's probably a few videos of me on my channel of me dancing in my fursuit at furcons. Yeah. Some of the, but yeah, most of the time I'm just cruising around enjoying stuff. I might hopefully build some stuff before I go to the con, since I'll have about a month or two before then, so I've got a bit of time. I only thing I need to buy is some stuffing. Only thing I need to buy. But yeah, that's something I want to make, and you'll get to see that once I've got it. I've got to just maybe do a little tinkering here and there, but that's about it. Yeah. Oh, more sewing needles. That's something I need to order. Last ones I tried ordering never got to me, so I got a refund.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll buy some more sewing needles at some point soon. But yeah, that'll be something I'll do. But I hope you've been doing well and all that. Haven't seen you around too often, Wolf Dog. I hope you've been doing well. Yeah. I might end the stream in a bit. But yeah. Oh, you're doing good. That's good to hear, bud. Yeah. Yeah. Hope you're healing and all that, and I'll be mainly just relaxing in VR and doing a couple projects every so often. It's been pretty nice and quite peaceful lately, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna hop in VR chat? Cool. Wow. Oh, one of my New Zealand friends here has just been cruising.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's not the worstest thing people have done around me like that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be quite that large.
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't that bad, and it wasn't causing any issue, so, yeah. Put it this way.
What I've seen in
Go on.
What's that?
Go on. You were saying something?
Yeah, it's pretty mild compared to what I've seen in Second Life when I was still playing that. Ugh.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Second Life can, I played that for a bit. The best way to describe it, my experience, was mainly me just wandering around the map and going, what's this? Okay, that's a thing. And then, like, seeing, like, 20 different signs of something that I swear was, like, a freaking money laundering scam on there.
Oh, yeah.
I swear that, that freaking, the only reason that platform is still alive is it's being used for money laundering. That's all I can swear. Like, it's just really weird. You go on there, you'll see dozens of different, like, because with vrchat, you just upload your world, that's it. You upload your avatars, all that. With Second Life, it is a freaking weird, unbelievably weird thing. It is, best described that when you join a VR world, it's not like a world and say, it's like a tile. Like each individual world is laid out around it. Yeah. And each tile you have to rent. Yes, you have to rent it. And there's these like third party, it gets really weird and scammy really quickly for me. That's why I kind of like was like, this is bizarre concept. It almost is like one of those crypto scams almost. Hello, Zerus, how you doing?
One of my neighbours dropped in a casino.
Oh. Hey, bud.
Bop.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, when I tell you I'm gonna come on, I tell you I'm gonna come on.
Yeah, I recently got my new avatar sorted. Let me show you. Here it is. I spent quite a bit of time getting this, along with my boyfriend, getting this looking the way it is. Yay. So this is my Griffin model that I got finally working. Wow.
I like the eyes on that one. It's actually kind of glittery.
Oh yeah. Hello, A. Johnson. It's good to see you. Thanks, John. Yeah, this model, we spent quite a bit of time with my boyfriend getting it working the way it is, and I'm quite happy with it. There might be some tweaks in the future. I was talking to the avatar maker today, and they were quite they're still tweaking it a bit, getting a few things that are just a little broken that I've noticed. Just a couple issues here and there, but it is looking good. They've done a great job so far on it, and I'm glad the amount that I paid for it, I feel is worth it, kind of thing. Yeah. But also, a funny thing about Second Life, even some of the expensive avatars on vrchat pale into comparison the price that you'd have to pay on Second Life for a basic avatar. Like, I'm sitting there going, what the hell? I learned about their engine they use, and it is a weird, twisted conviction of just crazy, just to make something 3D in that game that's supposedly... It's supposedly not 3D, but 3D at the same time. Yes, it's a Schrodinger's cat of goddamn 3D engineering that game is. Someone described some of the 3D models as being like a torus, or like a donut, even though it's like not a donut. And I'm just like, this sounds like some kind of lesson in like particle physics in a nuclear reactor kind of level of crazy. I'm just like, How does anyone create in that thing when they haven't made, like,
I've seen people make really, really detailed dragons
yep.
with hundreds of individual prims in like little separate parts.
Yeah.
Before we had sculpties and meshes,
Oh.
taken hours. But
The funny thing is,
they could fall apart.
What was it you saying?
Oh no, it's kind of funny because I hear him say prims, and I'm just like, prims
Ah.
is Second Life.
Yeah, I was referring to Second Life. Yeah,
Hmm.
all like a lot of the building stuff is included with Second Life. You don't need any third party or extra software.
Yeah,
That was very cool.
That
But
yeah, that's neat concept in its own right. Not having to download any extra tools. Yeah. I will admit that was probably why it hung around for so long, was you didn't have to go outside of that program to use any other program to, get it to work. But at the same time, it's probably why it kind of stagnated at the same time. They never really developed anything. Like, they tried to make it so that it would work with VR. But it would have broken everything if they did that. They would have had to, everyone would have had to have redone everything. They would have had to, like, redone all the textures, redone all the, like, graphics mapping and all that. But they just kind of gave up on it and just, like, went, nah.
Made some pretty cool stuff in there. I had a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
it got real expensive.
Exactly.
I also took over someone's sim for a while.
Oh.
And what we didn't throw off the upper areas of the sim wasn't worth throwing off. We had fun.
Oh. Yeah, so they're
I
all...
threw off entire houses.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see you around, John. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. But yeah, honestly, I found it really funny when I realised that quite often when you went on there, I would find, like, these half-done worlds, and I would end up, like, going AFK there, and you'd wake up and it was, like, built, or sometimes, like, you'd go to an area and it was completely gone the next day. It was so... Best way to describe it was very unstable when I was there.
Oh, have you ever heard of zorbing? You get inside a large plastic ball that's blowing
Oh,
air,
those.
down a hill.
Oh, those are fun.
I made one in there.
Oh, gosh.
I remember those things. Oh boy, those things were interesting.
Yep. I might end up buying one just for the sake of it to take to a furcon. Like, especially one of the ones that has a nice big open area. I might even, like, design one even from this ground up. Because I know a few Chinese manufacturers that are more than willing, if given the right amount of cash, to manufacture almost anything. I wouldn't mind getting one made so that it has kind of like, because there's normally got a hole that you slip into to get in. And I was thinking, what if they made it so there was a way that the hole would kind of contract smaller so you don't slide out of it easily, but the hole's still there so air can get in. And I was thinking, oh, I know how to do that. You just have essentially like the equivalent of a, best way to describe it is it's almost just like a hole, but the hole designed to contract when it's inflated. And that way it makes it so you don't fall out of it when you're rolling along. Yeah, I've learned a few things or two from making a few designs of things in 3D modeling software. But yeah.
I was strapped into the one I was in.
Oh, you're actually strapped into it. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's another way of doing it too. Yes, Blue Dreg. You fellow Dreg as well. Dragoon is a dragon. Yeah. Oh, so someone did do something really cool a while ago, and that was I saw this really cool custom idea. Someone made a inflatable skunk tail for their fursuit, and I was just like, that could be done. I could get one of those made. And the great thing about it is not only could you make a fur cover that goes over top of it that makes it fluffy, but also it's, really compact. You can just fit it into a bag or into a, Ziploc container. But yeah. Blah. Oh, I might
That would be pretty smart.
Yeah, it might be a way of doing it. It's just a lot more trickier to repair and maintain, being the only downsides of it. But it is a cool idea. The other way of doing a more compact fursuit tail for like that would be, it would be made in sections, and each section can kind of be like stacked inside of the other ones, since it's like tapered from the top to the bottom. You can easily just have all the parts kind of like stack inside of each other so that it fits into a smaller suitcase or something, and each section just kind of clips to the other one, both with a little clip and maybe some Velcro or magnets or something, or buckles or something like that. It's something simple that you can easily replace. Yeah. But yeah, that's some ideas I might try and do. I might make something out of foam or something, and make it so that it's hollow and lightweight, and make some 3D printed brackets that allow it to just kind of lock together when you're when you're using it. Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing a stream for over an hour and 22 minutes, but it's been a lot of fun. You're gonna go to to a festival in Halloween. On Halloween. That looks like it's gonna be fun. Yeah, have fun, bud, and enjoy yourself. Yeah. But yeah, there might be some things I might end up doing next week, but it depends on all the stuff that goes on. Yeah. Blah. But yeah, thanks for everyone who showed up and enjoyed the live stream. It's been a lot of fun. It didn't go as according to plan as I'd like to have, with Too Crazy not being able to get on because the internet had an issue. But it was still a good, enjoyable, and relaxing stream nonetheless. And I do enjoy having everyone here who managed to make it. Yeah. I hope you all have a brilliant day. Bye! Blah!